Hey guys, Chris Funk here. We're out on the Chattahoochee this morning doing some comparison talking about a couple different models. Now, you see we've got a Mayfly, a Coosa HD, and a Coosa HD behind me. I talked about these two in another video, so if you're interested in the Coosa HD and the Coosa HD comparison, check out that video. This one's going to be about the Coosa HD and the Mayfly, because to me they're the ones that are asked about the most often as far as versus one another or with one another. And I don't want to go versus one another because that's assuming that one's better than the other, and to me there is no perfect kayak. You know, the perfect kayak again would be super lightweight, super fast, super stable, super cheap, you know, and would never get destroyed by rocks. It just doesn't happen. There's not such a thing. But I want you to have the best option for what you do and what you want to do with it. So that's why we're going to talk about the two different boats. Now, first off, you see that the cockpits, there's a little bit of difference in these two cockpits. Now, the Mayfly has the foot pad that slides back and forth, and I actually like that. I wasn't sure I was going to like that to start with. I like that open cockpit. You know, the foot pad is very comfortable, especially for barefooted, and I do like to fly fish barefoot a lot of times because that way I can feel when I'm standing on my line, which happens far too often. But the Coosa HD has the console, which for those of you that know me, I don't use a console. I don't like a console. I don't like things between my feet. So we removed this. But if you wanted a place that you can mount electronics, or if you needed the day hit hatch bag, you know, if you wanted to use the line deal and all that, it's nice to have that option. To me, the most beautiful thing about this boat is the fact that it's removable and I don't have to use it. You can see that both boats have really, really nice front hatches. Now, the one thing that, you know, for the Coosa HD, you got to use the bungee. It's got plenty of room. I mean, I think in my video I said it's big enough to put a mother-in-law up in here. You know, and it's got plenty of room. You can put all kinds of gear in the front of this thing. The Mayfly has the latches that I love. Like I said, this is a really, really cool design. You don't have bungee that you can get hung up with. You know, the bungee for the paddle up here is nice. It works very well. It does its job. But you're going to get hooks and things like that stuck in it. The hypalon here that you can slide the paddle up underneath, this is very handy, very intuitive, and you're not going to get things hung on this. So having the hatch where you can get in and out, it's got the tray to put your small gear in there, whatever you've got leftovers, you know, if you want to put your lunch for the day, whatever, it's nice that it's not going to run down in the hull. I like this addition, but also still being able to get into the hull to work, or, you know, whatever you need to put down in the boat, it's really, really a nice design. Alright, on the back end of these, you can definitely tell there's a little bit of difference. Of course, the Mayfly has the awesome hatch, so I can get in and out of that. I like that a whole lot, being able to open that quickly. There's still plenty of room. This is a flat opening. This one's a little smaller. Now, you can get gear in there, but you're definitely going to have to move it, twist it, try to get it in the right spots. But it works well. You just got to kind of tweak it to get it in there. You can see that the tank well, there's a little bit of a difference in tank well. Now, the Mayfly is a larger open boat, so it's a little wider than the Coosa HD. It's got a little lower side to it, but the tank well, I like to use that a whole lot. I've removed the bungee off of it. I put in the eyelet, so all I've got to do is run a real bungee over top of anything that I want to put in there, but it took all the stuff that I can hang off of there away. It's also designed for the fly rod specifically. That does work well. I've been able to keep, you know, 2 fly rods down both sides of the boat while I've been using conventional gear without worrying about damaging them or anything like that. And those were 9-foot fly rods, so that design works very well. The 2 rocket launcher rod holders, you know, for me, just having those rods close at hand where I can get back works good, and on both of them. I like them on both boats. Now, the Coosa HD is set up for both sides to use a drag type chain for you know, slowing down on a river anchor. I don't use one of those, but this boat is equipped for that. If you wanted something like that on the Mayfly, you're going to have to rig it up. All right, back to the seating design on the boats. You know, the Coosa HD has the strap design, 2 high, 3 low positions. You know, I fell in love with it when it first came out because of being able to trim the boat to make it perform like I wanted it to. Move your seat back, you can raise your bow up, make it a little bit more loose. Move your seat forward, you drop your bow, it tracks a little bit better. I like that aspect of this seat, but the strap, you know, it affects being able to get stuff in and out from underneath here. If you do run without a seat, you got to worry about losing your little buckle piece. So I like that system, to me, a whole lot better. The 2 pins, the track system, I can still adjust fore and aft, looks like maybe 8-9 inches at most. but I can adjust the whole seat fore and aft to trim the boat like I want. I've got two pins the seats in, two pins the seats out, high, low, whatever, still just 2 pins. So I like that system a whole lot. I would love to see that on all the boats. See the lines on it, just give you an idea of the way the bottom's designed. You can definitely tell this boat is made more for tracking. Now, I fell in love with the Coosa HD as soon as it came out. I mean, it's just such a versatile boat. It's a great river boat. I can handle open water with it. You know, it tracks well. It don't track CUDA, but it tracks well. So I'm not going to blow smoke up your skirt about that. But it tracks well enough. Like I said, I put 50 miles in this boat in 3 days. So, you know, you're not going to be working yourself to death in this boat. Stability is outstanding. You know, I can still sight fish, I can cast net, I can bow fish, I can do whatever I want to do in a boat that's relatively light. That's the one true benefit of this one to me over the Mayfly style hull, because the Mayfly's heavy. I mean, that boat is almost big rig heavy, so you know it when you pick that one up. Now, it's also almost big rig stable, so you know, you have a wonderfully performing hull with like earth stable. If you could stand on earth, you could stand in a Mayfly. This boat is really stable. It's not that stable, but it is really stable. So I like this one. If I'm going into places where I'm going to be carrying, portaging, you know, after a long day when I need to put it on top of the truck instead of put it on the trailer, this is the kind of boat that I want. If I'm in serious moving water, you know, this boat to me is exponentially more maneuverable than the Mayfly. So I can get out into moving water, I can hit it at an angle and the bow will rise, it'll turn and point right upstream like it's supposed to, it'll surf in a hole. So this boat definitely has more of a river heart than the Mayfly. Let's talk about that one. You know, like I said before, the Mayfly is big rig stable. I mean, I call it planet Earth stable. You know, but part of the reason of that, and you can see there's a little water in the cockpit from when I slosh back and forth, because your center of gravity is lower. So you got a wonderfully designed boat that's wide, and you're a lower center of gravity. So there's going to be a little bit of water, to me, with a guy my size, in the cockpit. It's not coming up through the bottom. It's just where I've sloshed it from moving back and forth, and it's sloshed in there, and that doesn't bother me. But just letting you know why the stability in any boat is there. You lower your center of gravity, make it wider, you know, but you run into the problem, okay, if you make it too wide, it's going to paddle like a barge. And, you know, for me, this boat paddles really, really nice. It's got excellent speed, it's got excellent tracking. Maneuverability is nowhere near as good as the Coosa HD. But it's the first boat that I've had that I could actually, you know, walk out the hull if I wanted to come out here to get, you know, you could do stupid stuff and get away with it and not have to worry about it in this boat. So if you have any balance issues, trepidation about standing in a boat, this would definitely be one that you might want to look at. Now, you know, I'll put the specs up side by side. Like I said, this is a heavy boat. You need to think about that, whether you're trailer and car topping. You know, it's a little bit more expensive because it's a specialty type boat. So, but with those specs, hopefully you can make a decision for you. And that's the thing is, I can tell you what I like in a boat, but it's up to you to make that decision. Demo, demo, demo. Get your hind end in them and make the boat do what you do. That way you know if it fits. So do that. If you can get around Phoenix City, I'll try to get these in the water for you, help you out, answer any questions I can, but still, ultimately, it's got to be your decision. That's a lot of money, and I don't want you to spend it and hate your decisions. So, you know, think about it, research it, ask me questions, but the main thing is get in them if you can. I hope this has helped, and y'all take care, all right?